Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to be continuing what we worked on yesterday, which is multiplication. Okay, so the first thing I need everyone to do is take a look at the screen, okay, in the blue section. I'm wondering how many groups of spaceships are there? Not how many spaceships, but how many groups of spaceships? Call the answer right out. Pause the video if you want to take time to count it. I'm seeing one, two, three groups of spaceships. Okay, how many spaceships are in each group? There are two spaceships in each group. So, what is the quickest way we can figure out the total number of spaceships? Well, if we know that there's two spaceships and that there are three groups of two, we can write an equation to help us solve this. We can do 2 plus 2, we have two groups, and then one more group makes three groups, right? 2 plus 2 plus 2. And now we can skip count. 2, 4, 6. We can all skip count by 2. Or you could go 2 plus 2 is 4. And then 4 plus 2 is 6. Since we know that three groups of 2 is 6, it would be really easy for us to just pop in another group of 2, wouldn't it? Now what is our answer? We don't have to go back and recount over. We had three groups and we knew three groups was 6. And then if we add one more group of 2 on, we know that 6 plus 2 is 8. And we can skip count to check. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so we know 4 groups of 2 is 8. What about this? How many groups are here? Take a second or pause the video to count. How many groups do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we have 10 groups of 2. I would like you to either write down, if you have a piece of paper in front of you, or if you don't, just call it out. What is an equation we can write that matches this picture? Does your equation look like mine? I added two groups, I added 10 groups of 2, okay? We already knew that 4 groups of 2 is 8. So we're adding 6 more groups of 2 onto that. We could do it that way, or we could skip count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. So 10 groups of 2 is 20. Okay, let's switch it up from our 2's. What's the first thing we'll want to figure out when we look at this picture? We could try and figure out one of two things. We could see how many groups are in each bubble, how many spaceships are in each group, or we could figure out how many groups there are. I'm first going to look at how many spaceships are in each bubble. I'm seeing 4, 5. I see 5 spaceships, and it looks like there's 5 groups of spaceships. What is an equation we could write to solve this problem? Does your equation look like mine? We have 5 groups of 5. We can skip count by 5s to find the answer. Or we can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We didn't even have to write an equation out. We probably could have done that by just looking at the pictures. Okay, I have one more for us. Okay. How many spaceships are in each group? It looks like there are 3 spaceships in each group. And how many groups are there total? We have 4 groups total. So we have 4 groups of 3. Okay? The first thing I'm going to do is write an equation to help me figure that out. So we have 4 groups, and each group has 3. So I'm going to write 3 4 times. So 3 is not a number we usually skip count by. We usually skip count by 2s, 5s, 10s. 3 isn't really a number we skip count by, but luckily I have a lot of strategies I can use to solve 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay? Let me show you what I'm going to do. There are so many different ways you could do this. You could just go down the line. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 9 plus 3 is 12. Absolutely. Or you could look at it like this. You could say you have 3 plus 3 over here, which you know is 6. And then you have 3 plus 3 over here, which you know is 6. And we know 6 plus 6 is 12. That's another way you could do it. You also could just try and skip count by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. It might take a little bit longer, and we might have to think a little bit longer in our heads to count by 3s because it's not a number we count by as often as 2 or 5. But if you take your time and you use 1 or 2 strategies to go back and check your work, you can get it right every time.